Welcome back. November marks Responsible Gambling Awareness Month in the country, and as online betting continues to rise, the National Gambling Board says online betting has recorded a turnover of up to 1.5 trillion rand in the year 2024 and 2025. The SA Responsible Gambling Foundation is set to host a summit on responsible gambling innovation. And for more updates on this, we are now joined by the South African RGF Executive Director, Sibongile, Simelane-Quntana, and SOFTSWISS Head of Regional Growth, Miranda Guliashvili. And they both join us now via our video links. Ladies, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. Now, Sibongile, I'd like to start off with you, and let's start off here. I mean, online betting in South Africa at least accounts for around 70% of gambling as a whole, and that is a major chunk, right? And why is it so important to ensure that online betting in South Africa is safe?
Look, I think you've captured it correctly. There is a rise in online betting, but we also need to make sure that it's done responsibly and it's done in a safe manner. Now, what does that entail? It actually entails that we've got systems in place that can predict, people that are spending beyond their means. We are always advocating and say that people must stay within their means, but in practical terms, it's actually currently almost impossible to actually understand or track and trace somebody that is gambling beyond their means. So we are hoping that, over time, we will build into our policies processes where we can track and trace, punters online, so that if you sign up with any operator in South Africa and you've indicated that your income and specifically your disposable income, it's X amount, once you start betting more than what you actually indicated, we should be able to try and identify where that money comes from. But I think responsible gambling in general does not only speak to us or as a country being able to track people that may exhibit problematic gambling behaviors, but it also speaks to us being able to prevent fraudulent practices or fraudulent transactions, because there are people who may steal identity of other people and use those online.
And Miranda, that's where you come in, right? I mean, you have come up with technology to ensure that you can pick up on these trends, particularly in South Africa, when it comes to whether people are behaving responsibly when they are using online platforms to do such things as betting. Why was it so important to come up with this technology?
That's a great question, because I think we at SOFTSWISS, as a technical software provider, it's really important to take the responsibility for this kind of thing. And we're trying to be not only responsible by the technical side, but also by the design. So as we are main core, where this is the platform where the players play and have entertainment, it's so important to take the responsibility by technical side. But it's not about just, let's say, the monitoring it manually, but to have this system that allows you to check and take accountability for everything that we do in, let's say, in a gambling area, and most importantly, to do really responsible. So it's not just the technology is not just about how we react, but also just about how we provide the solutions. And I think that, yes, by the tech side, we monitor everything, but it's also we provide the design, which is totally tangible for all the sites that are involved there, B2B, B2C, and by the players itself. So that's the thing. And we collaborate not only with the regulator side, but also the support system and everyone involved to provide the feedback by technical side, but also have human empathy there.
And Sibongile, I just want to come back to you. When it comes to online gambling in South Africa or online betting, what sort of challenges or new trends have you been able to pick up on, particularly when it comes to responsible gambling?
Some of the emerging trends is the types of games that are being currently offered in the markets. And those games, they actually trigger, the brain responses of the punters and making them crave for more. So because of the types of games that are being offered in the market, which are more intense and they require much more involvement from the punter side, you find that, if I may just make an example, the Aviator game, which really took the country by storm in the past year or so, where many people were actually trying to catch the plane, and you find that people, they become so entrenched in the game and trying to win or actually catch that. Now, we see that as more and more games are being introduced in the market, more people are actually not trying to play for entertainment. They are trying to catch the next thrill. They're trying to catch the next Aviator program. So in such instances, it then becomes more important to say that whenever a new game is being offered, people, they need them to play responsibly. Because, when the new game is offered, in as much as it's for entertainment, even operators, they still need to make a money out of it. And gambling, whether it's online or offline, it's actually a game of chance, and people need to bear that in mind all the time when they're playing games, whether it's online or off-site.
And Miranda, coming back to you, I mean, when it comes to this new technology that is now being used, how will it assist with these new challenges that Sibongile makes mention of?
Yeah, I think there are new challenges and also a lot of trends, such as AI, for example, for the markets, for other markets, not only for South Africa. And I would say those challenges from our side are answered just to localize everything for the markets itself. Because even though we have experience of not from only emerged markets, but others, we are trying to implement and localize everything. And for example, we are trying to automatize a lot of things to, let's say, make technical monitoring easier and to give the players and the markets itself really good, let's say, experience. So we are trying to, and not only trying, we already implemented the AI monitoring system with let's say, we have machine learning that learns the patterns and behaviors of the players, and then automatizes in a way that we don't need to monitor it or check out manually, but to prevent everything before it actually happens and provide the feedback to the player, with a clear message, and with the really transparency mode, and also provide the feedback to the operator and also the game provider. It was good that she mentioned the Aviator this way. So we are trying to provide the feedback everyone and take accountability together with a collaborative way.
All right.
So we don't need to use just trending tools, but also just to implement it a really effective way.
And of course, Sibongile, next week you will be hosting the Responsible Gambling Summit. Tell us more about that in terms of what the focus will be when it comes to promoting safe and responsible online betting.
I think one of the most important thing is that we want to make sure that online betting is done ethically, that we've got the POPIA Act, and to an extent that the player information is being collected, the players need to be aware why their information is being collected, their privacy and their secrecy. And also, we also want to make sure that people have the ability to opt out. You are aware that we actually have vouchers that are available on the banking apps, which is part of technology. Now, currently, people don't have the opt-out options, and we want to integrate into the National Responsible Gambling Framework the ability of any customer who bank with any bank in South Africa that offers banking gambling vouchers, the ability to opt out. But from a treatment point of view, what is important, Miranda made mention of understanding the patterns. Currently, the patterns are from the customer point of view when you want to promote the game. But what we are saying from a responsible gambling point of view is how do we learn the patterns so that when somebody comes into treatment, after we've done the assessment from the first onboarding processes, we are able then to quickly analyze what are the triggers and what is actually happening with the specific client that has come on board, and we're able to then intervene.
All right, Sibongile, thank you so much for your time. Ladies, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. And that's South African RGF Executive Director Sibongile Simelane-Quntana and SOFTSWISS Head of Regional Growth Miranda Guliashvili telling us more about responsible online betting in South Africa. And that's where I leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Full View this evening.